Hi guys, welcome to the Bluenoise series on recording. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of issues or challenges whilst recording vocals. So the first thing we're going to deal with is distance from the mic, and people are not quite sure always where to stand. You know, should I stand at 10 centimeters? Should I stand at 20 centimeters? So I'm just going to have a quick discussion with Bob about different styles, different genres, and where we should stand. You know, what is the measurement? What's the rule of thumb? So Bob, my first question is the distance from the microphone, is that affected by genre? So is it genre specific?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, I think what the distance from the microphone will define is actually like your tone, you know, how the microphone sounds, how the voice sounds on the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that tone is different for different styles of music, you know, whether you're doing classical music or jazz or hip hop. You know, that the tone of the mic is important, and the tone of the voice on the mic. So, for example, if you're doing a pop song or a hip hop track, you know, you want to be kind of close on the mic. You don't want to hear too much reflection from the rest of the room. You know, you just want to hear
Pretty
the mic.
dead.
Pretty dead, yeah. And
Okay.
you want to get that really close sound. You know, when you're hearing a lot of the room in the background, your brain will tell you that person is further away from the mic, or they're further away from me as I'm listening. You know. If you're really close up on the microphone and there's not a lot of reflection, it's going to subconsciously tell your brain that, like, this person's closer to me. And that's kind of what you want in that kind of style of music, you know. I think if you're doing something like classical music's different. You know, you probably back the mic off, raise it up a little bit, get more of an open kind of sound. And you'll probably record in a room that is sympathetic to that kind of sound, you know.
What about acoustic folk music, for instance, where you kind of want you want it to sound live, but you still want it to sound good. You don't want it to sound thin. So how can you kind of get that to work? Do you use two mics?
I think in that kind of situation, yeah, there's so many different ways to do it. It depends on the room that you have, I think. You know, if you're recording at home and you're recording in a bedroom that's really dead, you've got a lot of soft furnishings around, you know, they're absorbing a lot of that high frequency in the room. I think then you're gonna want to have to reintroduce some of that kind of sound using, you know, artificial reverbs, convolution reverbs, that kind of thing, you know, plugins, effects to kind of create that sense of space. But you know, in some styles of music, even folk music, acoustic music, you do still want that really close, very intimate vocal sound, you know.
Okay.
I think it depends on the song at the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay. My last question to do with proximity is, let's say I'm singing a pop song and we've got the octave jump. So the verse is very chilled, you know, and then you get to the chorus and it's
Loud.
It's loud.
Yeah.
So obviously you need to back off the mic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want the tone to change.
I think in that kind of case, if you're singing really loudly,
because I mean, surely as soon as you gain it down, it's going to change the tone of the mic.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll change the tone of the mic. The distance from the microphone is the biggest thing. Okay, that's what we call the proximity effect. And basically what that is a buildup of low frequencies that occur when you get really up close on the microphone. As you get further away from the microphone, you hear those low frequencies come down, so you don't hear so much of the low frequency anymore. And that's kind of, as a good vocalist in studio, a lot of people would do that intentionally when they want their voice to sound really low and get that benefit of having the low frequencies from the proximity effect. They'll come really close up on the mic. And when they have to belt out, you know, the big choruses, or maybe it's a gospel song and they're taking it up a level and they're taking it up another level, it gets really loud, then they'll know, as a good vocalist, they'll know to, like, back off the mic. And you can also do some tests. You know, you can find a distance. Obviously, you don't want to back off too far, because then it's just going to sound thin and nobody wants that. So what you want to do is just do a couple of tests before. Say, hey, let's sing a little section of the chorus, you know, where the vocalist is belting. Have a listen on the mic. Where does it sound good? And we know, okay, cool, that's a good spot. You know, the vocalist will be able to judge for themselves when they're recording what's the good distance.
Yeah.
You know, once they've tried it before and they've done a few tests and they know, you know, which distance sounded the best.
Right. I think, you know, I'm probably, you know, in the past we would kind of rush that step, and sometimes when you get back and you aren't happy with the vocal, you know, sometimes it's too on the mic, and sometimes it's too off the mic. So I agree with you. I think it is extremely important to make sure that you are hearing it and kind of guiding the vocalist on the mic, off the mic, back off, get onto it, you know, and just to get a really, really good balanced take.
Yeah, I think that's also like the role of a good producer, you know. And for certain sections of the song, the producer will be able to say, okay, cool, let's go for that sound, let's go for this sound.
Right.
Sometimes that helps, yeah.
Okay, so I think, are we going to quickly test some proximity effect ideas?
Yeah, let's do a little A-B comparison. Let's do a little test and
Right.
try and demonstrate exactly what it is that we're talking about.
Okay, perfect. Here we go.
Okay, let's check. Proximity effect. Close up on the microphone. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, proximity effect. Test number 2 at a distance of over a foot away from the microphone. And we're going to do the same test again. So, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4.